Alright, I'm back. I said I wasn't gonna speak about it in a minute, but you know what? Screw it. This KD thing has gone a little crazy, man, and it's crazy because I don't think a trade's happening in the next 2 months. Listen, this trade could happen any given moment. Anything, it could happen till next year. Like, can you imagine the Nets win a championship? KD is still gonna be in trade talk because he did request a trade. Remember that. Now, I want to talk about the potential landings for a Kevin Durant trade, where Kevin Durant could end in, and I want to talk about how this started, why it even started. So, let's talk about how it started. So basically, the Nets. Obviously, if you want KD and Kyrie to join your team, you're gonna do anything you could to have KD and Kyrie join your team. All right. First season they couldn't really play. They're both injured. They made the playoffs, but it was just Karis LeVert, Jarrett Allen, Spencer Dinwiddie. They got swept by the not the Raptors. Was it the Raptors or was it the Celtics? I think the Celtics swept them. I think, right? It was the Raptors. The Raptors swept them, yeah. Now, after that, KD and Kyrie were healthy. They came back, and James Harden didn't want to be in Houston. Obviously, if James Harden doesn't want to be in Houston, he wants to be on your Brooklyn Nets team. You're going to trade for him. You know anything you could trade for him. But I do think the Nets did overpay a little. They gave up Jarrett Allen, became an all-star. They gave up Karis LeVert, who I still think has potential and is still a really solid player. They gave up... Who else did they give up? They didn't give up Spencer Dinwiddie, but he did get traded like the offseason after. But they did give up a lot of picks. It even ended up Victor Oladipo going to the Rockets. Remember that? That lasted like 20 games. Thank God that he traded for him. We traded nothing for him. Now I think about it. But, yeah, so then, injuries happened. They unfortunately lost to the Bucks. If KD's foot wasn't on the line, they for sure probably would have been champions by now. And, they run it back, right? That's not what happened. KD was popping off. Kyrie couldn't really play, but when Kyrie did play, he did pop off. And then you had James Harden. James Harden is such a diva. It gets me mad. This is why I don't like James Harden. He requests out. And in my opinion, they did not get a bad package whatsoever. They got Ben Simmons, Drummond, Curry, and picks for James Harden, which is actually a steal. But they did trade one of those picks for Royce O'Neal. And I don't know. That was kind of dumb, Brooklyn. But I think they should have. I don't know. Should have they let Harden go? Yes or no? I don't know. Comment down. I don't know. Maybe they should. Maybe they shouldn't. We never know. But Kyrie came back, and it just wasn't good. Like in the playoffs, Ben Simmons, man. I feel like they should have told Ben Simmons, like, listen, bro, like you better play. Like step up, man, or we're trading you again or something. We just got you out of Philly, but who says we can't trade you again? Type, you get me? And then they get swept, and Kyrie wants to go to LA. KD wants to go to Brooklyn. KD wants out of Brooklyn, and now all of a sudden they both want to stay. Well, Kyrie wants to stay. KD is just, I don't know, man. Like if I was in KD's point, like if I was in his shoes, I understand. You had high hopes in your team. You can't carry your team to the finals. A team has a lot of drama. You can't really count on specific players. People that you thought you knew for a long time, they did bail on you. And I understand. I understand why he will be mad. At the end of the day, maybe he doesn't care about the money. Maybe he just cares about winning a championship at this point. Especially at the Warriors win a championship. I could just imagine how embarrassing that is to him. But let's stop talking about that and let's get to the trades. Two destinations that he really wanted to go to is Phoenix and Miami. Fortunately, I don't think any of those trades could happen. The Suns trade could happen till like January, but what's the point of giving up Aiden and Mikal? Like, there's no point. You're just losing your defense. For KD just to play with D-Book and Chris Paul, at that point, you shouldn't even do a trade. And the Heat, too. The Heat, they don't want Hero. And I think Hero could be a centerpiece in a trade. I really do think he could be a centerpiece in a trade. But we could just give up Hero, Robinson, Vincent, I think Strus, and like Jovic or something, and picks. We don't have that much picks. We gave those all out for like the Dragic trade and stuff. And then like the Jimmy trade. But I don't know, man. I really wish we could get him, but I don't think KD is coming to us. They want us to give up Bam. We're not giving up Bam. Because if we give up Bam, Simmons has to be in the deal. And Simmons has to be somewhere else due to, like, the rookie contract, whatever it is. And KD said he wants to play with Kyle, Jimmy, and Bam. So at that point, what's the point of having KD, Jimmy, and Kyle Lowry? We're not stopping the Warriors at that point. If James Harden, Kyrie, and KD couldn't even stop the Bucks, what makes you think we're stopping the Warriors? Yet alone the Celtics. So I think those two are unfortunately, they're already out of the picture, especially us. I would love to get KD. But I have three candidates. Number one is the Warriors. And yes, we don't want him going back to the Warriors. Nobody does. Iron and KD wants to go back to the Warriors. But they are interested. The Nets are interested. They have a good trade package. And they could trade him right now. For him right now as they speak. It'll be Wiggins, Moody, Wiseman, Kuminga, Poole, and picks to get KD. Now, if this team's healthy, we're looking back at 2017-2018 Warriors. And we already know that was a nightmare. So, I hope that doesn't happen. But KD, obviously, he doesn't want backlash. He doesn't want to go back to a team that just won a championship. He wants to carry a team himself. And he wants to be, when he win a championship, he wants to have the credit to winning a championship. Kind of like LeBron when he joined the Heat. It was Wade's team, but Wade gave the keys to LeBron, and LeBron, was like, the guy who they actually gave the championship to. Like, okay, he deserved it. He brought them there, he took them there. Type, you get me? Second trade I have in mind is the Celtics, but same things like I said with the Warriors. They're not gonna want to do it. But Celtics are under the radar. Like I said, KD, he's not going to want to go to a team that swept them and just made the finals. He's going to want to go into his own team. Now, the Celtics could do a trade. Remember, they just got Malcolm Brogdon for literally nothing. Nobody's. I don't care what you say. Ernie Smith is a bust. Right? Watch him watch him just pop off this season. But now, I don't think he's going to get PT. But, anyways, they could easily trade Marcus Smart. They could trade Jaylen Brown. They could trade Grant Williams. And then they got the picks. And no matter ifs, no buts, if they trade for KD and they give up that, they're still going to be a top 5 defensive team, top 5 offensive team. The Nets, the Celtics are just scary. You already have Malcolm Brogdon. You could just team up JT and KD. And they needed a KD in the playoffs. They really did. Jaylen Brown was carrying that team, and you could tell he was already getting tired. Jason Tatum kept getting double teamed, showing to be a good playmaker. But, bro, he didn't show up in the finals. The last team, which I'm scared that he really might go to, that I think could be a realistic option, is the Raptors. Listen, Masai, give him all his credit. This guy is literally Pat Riley. I'm going to tell you the Raptors' history, for example. The Heat. He's literally like Pat Riley. Pat Riley, he knew what he was doing. He had Richardson be the leading scorer on the Heat. That got us Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler got us a finals appearance. Championship, maybe, if Dragic and Bam didn't get injured. 2 Eastern Conference Finals appearances. And it had the development of Bam becoming an All-Star, Tyler Hero becoming a sixth man, Max Strus becoming a gold piece to us. That also got us to get Kyle Lowry, which made us the 1 seed. So he knows what he's doing. Masai is another one. DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, and a first rounder for Kawhi. Like, what the heck? Kawhi to Toronto? That's weird. Nothing's going to happen. Championship. Pascal became an All-Star. Kyle Lowry became an All-Star. Like, Van Vliet popped off. Anunoby showed what he could do. And they're ready to run back the team. Well, Kawhi left. Oh, Masai, how are you going to let your superstar leave the team? This and that. You do, like, that season, Pascal, All-NBA. Kyle Lowry, All-Star, All-NBA. Fred Van Vliet popped off. Anunoby popped off. Norman Powell popped off. They were the 3 seed. They swept Brooklyn. And they took the Celtics to a 7-game series. And if they won, they could have been in the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years in a row. That's how good that team was. Masai didn't care. He said, oh, well, we have our developed pieces. And remember, there was a trade. It was Anunoby, Pascal, Fred Van Vliet, and like picks. And Norman Powell, I think, for Russ and Paul George. And they declined the trade. And everybody was like, oh, why would you do that? Look at it now. Next season, They tanked. They tanked. Nothing really happened, right? Off season, they had the 4th pick in the draft. Everybody's like, all right, Jalen Suggs because Laurie's already out. They chose Scotty Barnes. I remember when everybody was mad that they took Scotty Barnes. They said Scotty Barnes was not going to fit that team. They said Jalen Suggs was the best option. Scotty Barnes won Rookie of the Year this season. Jalen Suggs, people are calling him a bust already. He did not have the best rookie season. On top of the fact, that's not it. They were a rebuilding team and were top 5. They were the 5 seed. Pascal made All-NBA. Fred VanVleet became an All-Star. Gary Trent popped off and is now in trade rumors to get them somebody good. Same thing with Anunoby. They almost made the 76ers blow a 3-0 lead. On top of the fact that in the offseason, they lost Kyle Lowry and they traded him for Dragic and Achuya. Achuya, he played all right. Dragic got traded for Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus Young actually helped them out. But the fact that they were a rebuilding team and became a top 5 team as a rebuilding, almost making the Sixers blow a 3-0 lead, that 3-0 lead, them making it a 6-game series is why Embiid got injured, is crazy. That is crazy. And I would not be surprised if this year they also become another top 5 team, especially if they get Kevin Durant. But besides what I was talking about, the Raptors stuff, reason why I'm saying that is because they could get KD. Masai knows what he's doing. This is the guy that knew Giannis was gonna become Giannis. He has the skill to get KD. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get a superstar. And if they trade Scotty Barnes, which I hope they don't, but even if they do or don't, they could still win a championship because it could be Barnes, KD, Fred VanVleet, or it could be Pascal, Anunoby, Trent, but it'll still be KD, Barnes. I mean, it'll still be KD, yeah. Or they could trade Barnes and it could be Pascal, VanVleet, KD, or maybe they keep Pascal and Barnes and they don't have to give up that much. Like, all they got to give is Anunoby and Gary Trent, like lots of picks. You know how nasty that team will be? Listen, I won't be surprised if he goes to Toronto because Masai he knows what he's doing, and I think the most realistic thing is for him to go to Toronto. Maybe he doesn't want to play over there in Canada, but it's at the end of the day, it's not what he wants if you really think about it. He's not like Bradley Beal. He doesn't have a player option. He can't choose a team he's getting traded to. He has a list, but he can't choose to what team he gets traded to. And I think the Raptors, I feel like he's going to go to Raptors, which I'm scared because if Kawhi brought them to a championship, can you imagine KD? Especially now that they have 2 All-Stars, well, basically 3 All-Stars and All-NBA players, and they have defensive masterminds and OG Anunoby. Maybe they could just trade OG, Gary Trent, and like Achuya or like some first round. Maybe they don't got to give Scotty Barnes. Maybe Scotty Barnes does get traded. We never know. And maybe they do trade Scotty Barnes. And what if Scotty Barnes has a Tyreek Evans season? I don't think he is, but what if that happens? That's a win for the Raptors. Masai knows what he's doing. And I'm sure right now he's trying his best to get KD on the low. But I don't know whatever. Listen, comment down below what you think, and like and subscribe. I'll post updates and stuff. I'll try to do like a 24-hour thing, like what's happened in a couple of days. I already got nothing else to talk about, but KD, my boy. I know you're not watching this, but listen, man. At this point, at this rate, you should just suit up next year. Y'all win a championship, y'all don't. It's all right. Don't pull no Ben Simmons. Don't do none of that girly stuff. At the end of the day, you don't have time to do that either. You're 33. Try to pop off. Try to put your trade value as top as possible. And yeah, that's it.